Hello dear students. Today I am going to teach you the chapter number 2nd, Algae, from credit number 1st, subject plant life and utilization first. That is botany paper first. So in this chapter today we see in this lecture life cycle of Spirogyra, in which firstly we see her introduction, then systematic position with reason, then habit and habitat, structure of thallus, structure of typical cell. So the student, all these sub points we will cover in our today's lecture. So the student, in previous lecture we already started this chapter Algae. In this chapter we already focused on introduction, the general introduction of algae, then general characters of algae, outline classification of algae according to the bold and Vine. Introduction, see the algae, it is called phycology or algology, the study of algae. Then this algae, it is a specifically live within the water, means it is aquatic. And then general character of algae. What is algae? Algae is nothing but the chlorophyll bearing autotrophic organism. Cellulose, cell wall is made up of cellulose, and there is a food material in the form of starch, and it also shows the reproduction. In outline classification of algae according to the bold and Vine, we already uh, seen the 9 different classes. So the student, here I am focusing on the life cycle of Spirogyra. First, introduction. So the Spirogyra, the name was suggested by Link in 1820. The spiro, that means coil, and gyra means curved, is one of the most fresh water bright green color alga. This is most common alga. This Spirogyra, it is occur in a still water of fresh water in pond, pools, ditches, lakes, etc. It is also in a slow flowing stream found. Because of the slippery feel of the filament, Spirogyra, oftenly called as the pond scum, pond silk, or it is also called as water silk. The filament of Spirogyra, it is Spirogyra filaments are slimy to touch because of an outer mucilaginous layer. So see, these are the Spirogyra filament. It is a pond silk, okay, or pond scum, or it is also called as a water silk, and it is very smooth and slimy to touch because the outer wall it is having a mucilage. So the next I'm focusing here the systematic position with reason. Spirogyra, it is belonging to the group Algae. Here some reason why it is algae: chlorophyll bearing organism and hence photosynthetic organism. Plant body is a thallus like, means do not differentiated into stem, root and leaves. Sex organs are one celled and without jacket layer. Then it is belonging to the division chlorophycophyta. So it's also having some reason. They are green in color because of chlorophyll A, chlorophyll B, carotenoids and xanthophylls. Then pigments are localized in a chloroplast with pyrenoids and reserve food material in the form of starch. So this Spirogyra, it is belonging to the class Chlorophyceae. So the Chlorophyceae having some important characteristic feature. That means here it is a green algae and having a chlorophyll A, B, carotenoids, xanthophylls are present. Pigments localized in a chloroplast with pyrenoids. Starch, it is a reserve food material. Cell wall is made up of cellulose and pectin. Then order Zygonematales. See the order Zygonematales, it is also called as conjugales. So it's having some reason. Plant body is a simple, filamentous and grows only in a fresh water. Mobile phase is a lacking in life cycle, means zoospore formation or there is a mobile phase is a lacking. Sexual reproduction takes place by conjugation of two amoeboid gametes, and that's why it is kept in order zygonematales or conjugales. Then family of the Spirogyra, it is belonging to the Zygonemataceae family. See this Zygonemataceae family, it is also having some important characteristic feature. So the plant body is unbranched and filamentous. Cells are united end to end forming unbranched filament. Cells are with parietal or ribbon shaped single or two axial chloroplast. And finally, the genus is Spirogyra because one to several ribbon-like chloroplasts are located parietal in position. Conjugation tube is produced during the sexual fusion. So the student, this is regarding to the systematic position with a reason, systematic position of Spirogyra with a reason. So the next point I am focusing here, habit and habitat of Spirogyra. First the habit. So it's appear in abundance during and after the rains. It thrives well throughout the year. It prefers to grow in a cold season and little rise in temperature. It favors the reproduction. So the habit of Spirogyra, the plant body or the thallus is long, then it is a green in color, cylindrical and unbranched filament or thread. Then it is a several centimeter long. It is hair-like, unbranched, and that filaments often means it is a free floating or it is a attached to the any substratum. The filament usually occur as a free floating masses which are tangled and the shiny masses. So the next there is a habitat. See this Spirogyra, it's occur in a still water of pond, tank, pools, ditches as a submerged or free floating filament forming the floating masses. Then it is also found in a slow running water of streams, river, and so this Spirogyra, it is a freshwater alga, means it is only found in a fresh water. Then the next I am focusing here the structure of thallus. So in a Spirogyra, the plant body, it is a thallus, and the thallus consisting of slender unbranched filament. So the students see in a diagram. So these are the unbranched long intact filament. See, this is the one cell placed the above, okay, another cell, and there is a formation of very long unbranched filament. So the student, the thallus, it is nothing but the uh, filamentous thallus is there, and this thallus consists of slender unbranched filament. The filament or threads are several centimeter long. Young filaments are found at hapteron, or there is holdfast is there, and this holdfast, it is a help in a attachment of that young filaments. So the filaments, normally the filaments are free living, floating, free living and free floating and slimy. Each filament consisting of the few hundred similar cells placed end to end in a single row. See, this is the one cell, okay, then this is a second, third, fourth, okay. See here, here the each filament consisting of the few hundred similar cells placed end to end in a single row and forming a very long intact filament. Thus, the filament is not differentiated into base and apex. Here, the exception is the Spirogyra adenata, and another is the Spirogyra jogensis. However, are exception. So, see, this holdfast, it is a basal colorless cell is there. They devoid the chloroplast. So it's developed the rhizoidal outgrowth which assist in attaching the filament to the substratum. Holdfast, it is a nothing but the basal cell of the filament, and it is a colorless, and it's produce the rhizoidal outgrowth, and it attached to the substratum. Okay, so the student, this is regarding to the structure of thallus in a Spirogyra. So the student, I am focusing here the structure of typical cell of Spirogyra. So the Spirogyra, the typical cell of the Spirogyra, it is a shows there are the several times longer than their breadth. Then these having a cell wall and protoplasm. Each cell consisting of a firm cell wall. The cell wall is a commonly made up of the two layer. Cell wall is a two layer. The outer layer, it is a pectin substances, while inner cell wall, it is made up of the cellulose substances. This is the this is the outer cell wall, and this is the inner cell wall. See, the outer cell wall, it is made up of the pectin, while inner cell wall, it is made up of the cellulose. The inner layer is composed of cellulose, while outer it is a pectin substances. The inner cellulose layer forms a complete envelope around the protoplasm. See, this is a dark green color, okay, structure. It is nothing but the inner cell wall. It is a cellulosic cell wall, and it's make a complete envelope around the protoplasm. Outer pectin layer dissolve in a water and form a slimy sheath, or it is a form the mucilage sheath, in sometimes referred to as the third layer of the cell wall, which make the filament slippery to touch. The end or cross wall, see, this is the end or cross wall. There is that end or cross wall, it is a three layer. There is a middle septum of lamina. It is made up of the pectose with a primary wall with cellulose layer on either side. See, the middle lamina, it is made up of the pectose, while the outer, that is a primary wall with cellulose layer on either side. The cell wall surround the protoplast. It is a protective in function. See, this is a cell wall, and here there is a presence of protoplast. protoplasm. So the protoplasm, it is a differentiated into plasma membrane, chloroplast with pyrenoids, nucleus, and there is a presence of the large central vacuole. So the plasma membrane, or it is also called as a cell membrane, it is a surrounded membrane and it surrounded the cytoplasm. It is a protective in function. Then chloroplast. These are embedded in a cytoplasm and in parietal. See, this is the chloroplast. See, this is a zigzag, or see, this is a spiral or coiled like this ribbon shaped chloroplast. It is a parietal in position. Chloroplast are band shaped. See the distinct, there is a band or there is a distinct ribbon shaped chloroplast is there, and this band or ribbon shaped chloroplast, it's forming the spirals. These spiral may be either narrow with a smooth margin, or it is either broad spiral manner running in an anti-clockwise direction from one end of the cell to other. See, one it is a run clockwise direction. See, this is a clockwise direction, means one it is a clockwise and another it is a anti-clockwise direction. Then spiral chloroplast is a feature from which the genus is given its name. See, the chloroplast is in the form of spiral, and that's why the student, the given the name of this genus is Spirogyra. Why it is a Spirogyra? Because the chloroplast, it is in the form of spiral features. Okay, the spiral chloroplast, and it is a unique character of this alga. And when we observe under the microscope, we also distinctly see the spiral chloroplast, and we can easily identify this is nothing but what? The Spirogyra green alga. Then the pyrenoids. See, these are the small spherical rounded shaped bodies. See, this is a green color. Okay, on that ribbon shaped structure. Okay, means on that chloroplast there is a ribbon shape. There is a rounded bodies, oval bodies are there. These are the small spherical rounded bodies are there. It is a nothing but the pyrenoids. These are dense and highly refractive proteinaceous bodies. Pyrenoids are nothing but the highly dense and refractive proteinaceous bodies, and the number of pyrenoids also varies from single pyrenoid to 16 spirenoid. And so see the student, so the according to the nature of the chloroplast, according to the ribbon number, then according to the pyrenoid number, the Spirogyra are divided into the many species. Okay, there is a near about more than there is a 300 species of Spirogyra, and these 300 species, it is discovered according to the nature of chloroplast, means the ribbon, how many ribbons are there, and the how many pyrenoids are present on that chloroplast. So the next student, see here the nucleus. At the this there is a single nucleus with a distinct nucleolus, and this nucleus, it is present at the center of the cell. Then central vacuole. See the large central vacuole. So the large central vacuole, the cytoplasm enclosed a large central vacuole, and this vacuole filled with the cell sap. The sap is rich in a tannin and other organic and inorganic compounds. So the students, see, this is regarding to the, see, this is empty space. It is nothing but the centrally there is a large vacuole is present. So the student, this is regarding to the structure of typical cell of Spirogyra. So on this topic, student assignment I am giving here. The first, there is a short answer question. So the first question is, give the habit of Spirogyra. Then second question is, write on habitat of Spirogyra. The next question is, give the class of Spirogyra. Next question, write on chloroplast of Spirogyra. And the last question is give the common names of Spirogyra. So this kind of short answer question is arises on this topic. Then the student, next there is a long answer question. First, write systematic position of Spirogyra with a reason. Then second question, comment on structure of thallus and typical cell of Spirogyra. And last one is write habitat and nature of thallus of Spirogyra. So the student, in today's lecture we already covered the subpoints: Spirogyra general introduction, systematic position of Spirogyra with reason. We see in detail habitat, thallus structure of Spirogyra, cell structure of Spirogyra. So in the next lecture we will discuss, or we will see the life cycle of Spirogyra. Within that we will focus on reproduction. It is a very important topic. Within the reproduction, here the Spirogyra, it is a mainly reproduced by three different methods. We will see that the vegetative reproduction is Spirogyra, asexual reproduction in a Spirogyra, and the sexual reproduction in Spirogyra. We will see in our next lecture. Thank you.